Welcome back again today, friends, from the depths of my basement. We got a situation. We got a situation over here that we are going to work through. We're also going to make, I don't know, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, whole lot of. Also on my to-do list for today, besides all of this, is to do a bunch of big batch cooking this evening. I want to do meatloaf for dinner anyway. So why do meatloaf for one dinner when I could go ahead and do meatloaf for 6 dinners and get several meatloaves in the freezer? You know, I love doing the whole big batch cooking, mama, cook once, eat 6 or 40 times thing. So I do plan to do that this evening. But now let's get into this. And I hope you can hear me okay. My large capacity Harvest Right freeze dryer is currently doing mangoes and also applesauce. And I've got several things on trays in the freezer that I will be working through in that large freeze dryer over the coming days. I'm working on making sure I always have it running pretty much unless it's defrosting. I was doing really well and I got knocked off in December. We're getting it together, right? And friends, I am so excited. I have opened the doors to my special private large family table community for new members for a limited time. I am calling April Frugal Celebration Month. Yay! And as my special gift to you, I'm offering the best value ever on membership, only $14.97 a month. That's over 70% off. So click the first link in the description below and join me over in my special large family table community membership. So what in the world's going on here? Well, what will be going on here is down here, these sections right there. I have ordered the grow mats. You've been hearing me talk about this. I've ordered the grow lights. I'm going to start my seeds indoors under grow lights. I have never done that. I've only started seeds one other time when we first moved to this house in front of that big living room window. That window lied to me and my inexperience lied to me, and I thought I can just set up a folding table in front of this window. I can just start all my seeds here. They have a window. That's all they need. It's not all they need. They got leggy. Things went real wonky from there. But it was a good try, and I learned, right? And all my other big gardens before moving to this property were always plants that I bought from a local Mennonite greenhouse, and they always have just wonderful plants, lots of heirloom varieties and such there too. And it went in my fertile farm soil, and the Lord blessed it. Yes and amen. Here, been a little different, okay? It can only get better, right? So we're doing this, but in order for Travis to take those hopes and dreams any farther, and he's out grinding all those stumps. So I've got to focus on getting those 2 shelves. Basically, this whole thing can tell us stories. So let's listen to these basement shelf stories. So some of the stories that these basement shelves can tell, well, first off, I didn't even ask for these. So thank you, Mr. Travis, because he's just like, hey, this woman needs shelves. Let's get her some shelves. And so last summer he was putting up these shelves. So thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Travis. But a lot of odds and ends from when I was moving into the Mega Mama kitchen have come to rest here. Water is there, an extra high chair, some boxes of jars, some tea that I need to put in the pantry. We got a lot going on here. And so my plan is we're gonna make a thrift store pile. Oh yeah, that's another thing we're doing. So I'm gonna set my timer for 2 hours. Once we get going here, I'm gonna just bust through 2 hours worth, and I'm going to make a thrift store pile. And I have 2 family folks I need to take to the chiropractor this afternoon. My plan is for my family and I to load all the thrift store stuff in the back of the van. Everybody hop in, get to the chiropractor, and get whatever the pile looks like to the thrift store for donations. And then when we come home, we will do our evening big batch cooking extravaganza in this video also. A lot of folks like to ask, where are my kids when I film these videos? Usually they're with my husband whenever I have some dedicated filming time. Right now, he is working on the stumps. So I have another adult family member who is watching my herd of children outside. They are on day 2 of filming a movie that they have written and designed and directed and done the costumes for. It's a very dramatic thing. So that is what they are doing. I believe there's some goats in some costumes. There's some cats involved. It's a very big production. I believe there's a king's crown and that was stolen, and that's part of the storyline. So the kids are doing very creative things. And then down here we have this is the heat mat light things overflowing, seed hauls, lots of seed things happening, drip irrigation system for the raised beds. Here, let's just look through this box. So that's not really, this needs to be out of here. Oh, there's my little seating square I got for the garden. Again, hopes and dreams. So we got a lot going on. I have a video coming up where I will show you the exact seed hauls and all of those good things. But right now, we've got to get through here. And here's my mangoes and applesauce currently going in the freeze dryer. It's about 14 hours in so far. All right, friends, so now we just have to jump in and get to it. I am starting by making a few different piles on the floor here. I am making a pile on the rug of basically everything that I am keeping is going to go on the rug. I'm not going to think too hard about it at this point. I'm just going to set it down there. And then items that I know are ready for the thrift store or to donate to friends or another young mom, just depending on what the item is, I'm putting in another big pile, and we will deal with that later. And yes, I found my cute little chicken. I ordered that on Amazon. It is not big enough to really hold any decent amount of eggs, but it is cute, and it is going on my freeze dryer. Also, I am finding my various flags. I got a cute little pig and sunflower flag. We're going to get that up outside. Working on the outside of the house, that's just going to be another video for another day. But as I've been joking, yeah, it's almost Easter and I still have my Christmas flags up. So definitely need to spend some outside time switching out flags and getting some pansies and some flower pots and getting all things freshened up for spring. We've had a lot of cold weather in Virginia and rainy weather, all the weather that keeps me from going outside, but I am glad that good weather is on the way and outdoor projects will be a-coming. So I'm also running some things to the pantry that should really be housed in there, getting them off of these shelves. Like I said, these shelves, Travis put them up for me last summer, and I did not have a plan on exactly what I would be using them for when he installed them. He just thought they would be a good idea and they would be something that I would love to have and use for my various purposes. Hey, look, we're finding more flags. There's some Easter flags. We'll get those put up. And that was such a sweet thought by him, right? Thinking of needs that I would have in the future while he was already working on this basement down here. And he knew I would get to the point where I would see the full vision for those shelves, and definitely having 2 shelf sections. It's going to be 8 shelves total dedicated to grow lights and working on my seedlings. There you go. That's a huge vision right there. And then I imagine another section of shelving, I will have different gardening supplies. And then the last section of shelving, I don't know yet, but that's okay. I don't have to know yet, right? I just know I have to find the shelves because they have been here. It hasn't been quite a year, actually. If we're in spring, he did these at some point last summer for me. And like I said, a lot of miscellaneous items from the new kitchen and some various holiday items and some gardening odds and ends. You know, if you have shelves and you don't have a plan, things will find a home there. I have some jars in boxes there. We'll go through all the items here shortly and I'll show you those more in detail. I have some different area rugs and such that I've held on to, but those can go to the thrift store. I also have some more freeze-dried food on those shelves down there, and we're just going to move those up higher for right now. And I have different canning boxes that I am saving, but they do need to get off of these shelves. I have some baskets we're going to get upstairs, some different little organizing containers that also take up space, so I will be finding things to use those for. I have another silverware organizer there that I'm going to pass on to another mama. and we are just gonna find our shelves and figure out what in the world we're doing here, right? I am hauling boxes in different directions and organizing and thinking on where things should go. My shelves that you can't quite see yet, the ones behind me there, I am leaving different decorating items. Items that I know we're going to need as we work through different house renovations. I have family pictures on the shelves behind me, pictures that hung up in the farmhouse and in the forest house. They just have not been hung up yet in this 1963 renovation house, but we will get there again as we work through our different renovation projects. That's a triple Lazy Susan there that I thought I would need in the new kitchen, and I'm just going to go ahead and pass that on to someone else. It didn't quite work in the space that I bought it for, and that is okay. And so here, that's my antique Pyrex that I bought last summer. I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. Again, that might go in a china hutch or on a shelf or something fun like that upstairs once we get through more renovations. So it's going to the future renovation side of the basement. Okay, so it may not seem like it. Let me see how many minutes. Okay, we're about 40 minutes in or so. I've talked to some kids and had a bathroom break and, you know, all those different things, but we are making progress. This is the thrift store pile that is currently growing. There are all kinds of things in here, things that I know folks need. I'm just going to donate it to the Gift and Thrift because we know they're a wonderful thrift store and there's so many great things to be found there. So anyway, some of the things down memory lane, though, you might remember when we found this piece at a Goodwill before I moved into the Forest House. This little sign here I had at the Forest House. Then there's some random things. I mean, these are rugs that we've used in the hallways. They're still fine. Someone could freshen them up. Several of these things are some organizing things I was trying out in the kitchen, or I thought I would need in the kitchen, or it's all okay. It's gonna bless some other mama. Like, these are some of those pan rack organizers, and I wasn't sure which way things would go with my, you know, how it would go with my spices. Several viewers suggested I try a Lazy Susan configuration. I don't have enough room in my cabinets for this, and that's okay. I didn't end up having this work well in the space. That's okay. There's a printer there that I'm sure still works. This white shelving or organizer down here is for canned goods. They just don't work well for me, and that's okay. So yeah, I can let go of things. I can donate things. I can pass things on. I do have one young mama I'm going to reach out to see if she needs that, and I can drop it off to her on the way to the Gift and Thrift. And then many of these items, I mean, you know, when everything's thrown in a pile, it all looks like trash, but I'm keeping my baskets. I have some more of those organizing containers I'm going to get back in the box. I got a planter I want to use. I've got a lot of different, like, charcuterie type boards. Hello food blog, hello lots of food situations. Over here I have, this was like a 4-pack of jars. I didn't just get those in my pantry room. These are the smaller pantry jars, different seasonal holiday things that we have a flag box. I really need like a harvest box. So again, we're doing it. We're making our way through. And the flags were organized in our feed room. I just think at different times when I've had family folks change out flags or bring flags downstairs for me, they've ended up over here and not in the other box. And these shelves we will not be purging or really dealing with anymore too much today. I'm going to do a quick pick through and grab what inspiration strikes for the thrift store pile. But for the most part, I keep piling things on here that, you know, this house is in renovation limbo. So like I've got family pictures there that need to go on the walls, but I need to wait to do that until we're done with our living room and new bed, you know, so much going on upstairs. So those are just staying there. And then I have some sentimental pieces here and such. So again, this is not the focus of everything we're doing today, but there is some rhyme and reason on what's going on here. And then over here, I've got like the black trash bags are clothes that someone passed on to me. 4 boys, I think 2 years ago. I've still never gone through them, so I'm just going to take those blessings and put them in the thrift store pile. Then I have quite a bit of Tobin's little boy clothes that he's already through. I was trying to get clothes for another mama's baby who's a little younger than him the other night, and I just ripped into the bags because I couldn't get them untied. And so I need to deal with that. Yes, I'm sure, elephant in the room, the medical equipment. You know, you have family members and folks who visit in different life situations where people need different medical equipment. So there are times in our life where we need that, and that's okay. I have Tobin's little bouncer under there that could probably be passed on. Again, I'm going to make some quick dives in this area as well, but I'm working to stay focused over here on all of this that I'm supposed to be focusing on. But while I'm taking a load to the thrift store, I want to grab. Also, I'll show you. So this is the wood for the new windowsills. That's a hickory. And so that will be installed here again whenever our contractors get to it. And so now I am just picking through those, what I'm calling my future renovation shelves. I have some mirrors and some wreaths and some other pieces there that I'm not ready to pass on yet. And I want to give myself the opportunity to decorate with those items as we get our hallway done and our foyer done and our living room done and 2 more bedrooms and all of those good things. But I am looking at different pictures, thinking about them. We have not found a consistent use for our homeschool carts that you see there towards the bottom of this video here. I did take one upstairs whenever I do some canning projects. I don't know if you've seen videos of that yet or not, but I know I've had a cart up there helping me in recent cooking project times. It's still not as big as the large cart many of you have suggested. I'm just trying to use what I have. These are light enough to get upstairs when I need them and bring them back down when I don't. I'm really thinking about those metal pieces. I had those on the side of my farmhouse for a long time. I've had them in gardens before, but I did decide to go ahead, and now I'm like, oh, it burns. But yes, I decided to pass those on into my thrift store pile. I'm not really decorating with metal artwork on the outside of this house, although I don't know, would it look good on a greenhouse, look good on a shed? That's okay. I will pass it on, and we'll get more later, right? Another day we'll go back to the thrift store and say, hey, look, here's some thrifted metal pieces 5 years down the road that someone else passes on. So I have some camping cookware that I'm pulling down from the shelf now. We really love getting our fire pit going basically 3 seasons during the year, and we're learning to do more and more with it. So I got these cast iron sandwich press makers end of last fall, I feel like, and we had not had a chance to use them yet. So I wanted to get them down so we could start using those this spring. And now I am just continuing to pull more things out. I always feel like when I deal with massive messes and a large amount of items, if I can pull everything out where I can see it, it's going to help me process things from there. And also there's some jars that got brought downstairs that need to go in the canning pantry, and some other little home signs there that are going to go to the thrift store pile. So we have some jar organizing that we need to do. This is where we put the jams that we did a few weeks ago the other day. Those are 1/2 pint jars. Those jars and my other new boxes of jars I have collected over time, waiting for this season in life when I could dive into all my canning hopes and dreams, and here we are. So some folks have asked me like the jar prices that I'm getting, and I have not bought any jars in 2023. I can't tell you exactly. I feel like a lot of my quart jar boxes were not any more than $13. I feel like $12 and some change, $11 and some change. Sometimes I have gotten those on Walmart.com. Sometimes if I've gone into like my local hardware store and they've got a bunch of boxes of jars there, I'll pick up 2 or 3 boxes at a time and leave a lot. Yep, but over time, I know in trying to slowly transition to producing and growing and processing as much of my family's food at home and on our little farm here as much as possible, I'm going to need a lot of jars. A lot of the big family canning type videos that I have seen, families reference having 1,000 jars of food put up for their family a year in advance, and I don't have 1,000 jars here food wise. I could turn this into a canning video, but we're going to focus on our organizing project out there. I'd like to get back in here also to work on these jars, but I don't know if it's going to happen today. A really nice idea I have heard from some viewers is, like right now, when my jars are washed, whenever I have jars left from a canning day and they just get brought back down here, then on my next canning day, I have to take them up and put them through the dishwasher again and stuff. I know a couple of my viewers have said they store their clean jars with rings and lids on them to keep them clean, and here I am, I'm looking at 12 jars that are not being stored in such a way, but that's okay. Well, again, as I say, it can only get better from here. All right, so now I just happened to see something that caught my eye in that bag there, and I'm like, oh wait, these bags are not what I thought they were. So I'm going to show you here and like look at the camera and talk to you in a few minutes, but I'm seeing some character pajamas, like Minecraft pajamas and Sonic pajamas, and I remember we ordered those Sonic pajamas specifically for my son, who's 12 now, but I believe he was about 9 or 10 when we ordered them. They've only been through one boy, and I have the next boy in line who's 8 who would just absolutely love those. There's one size bigger, but yeah, those are definitely worth pulling out for another boy. So I'm going to need to go through those bags deeper, because I see what they are now, and I know what's needed. I'm going to need to go through those. Not today, though. I did put a few of the specialty pajamas that I found there to be washed, and at least I now know future projects. And I'm continuing. I have some different jars and storage containers I had bought that I put in the canning pantry. And I have some wreaths there that I'm just going to go ahead and put in my thrift store mountain there. And a few other items. That's a loom that we had got many years ago at the thrift store. So I do like to shop at the thrift store. And we might have an item, like I think we got that loom 6 or 7 years ago, and it was used quite a bit. And now it's been down in the basement for 3 years. And so I just decided, I think it's actually broke. But there's some pieces there. It might be worth it to someone to put it back together. And so I'm going to pass that back. I have a lot of vases that I'm holding on to because my kids love to get flowers in the spring and the summer, and already now they've had daffodils on the island. And so I'm continuing to look through other items and just get them on my deck. Well, you know what? Let's just call them the decorating shelves, okay? Yes, and we have some more flags there I have found. Now, I will say the mirror behind me, not the one with the gold frame, but the one with the wood frame. Little story here. So that's actually a family heirloom, and I forgot. And it does end up in my thrift store pile, but on the day that we do end up getting this whole mountain to the thrift store, when I saw that picture, everything clicked, and I remembered the history of that mirror, and the kids pulled it back out. So we're going to need to find a home for it hanging upstairs, but at least I did save it from the thrift store, so that's good. That's a mirror that Travis's parents growing up always had. It went through all their moves, all their houses. They even took it to Hawaii and back when they lived there for a while. So if that mirror has made it over all these decades, it needs to still make it at my house. So we are going to get that hung up upstairs. I think actually it'll work well in our living room whenever we get through that point. So there I am chugging Zevia.
Those are some good, like not really sodas and all natural, but still have some good flavor. So the root beer will really taste like root beer, or the ginger ale really tastes like ginger ale. And so now I have some of the pre-bought containers of freeze-dried food that I had bought over time, and I'm just moving those up higher. I had an older teen reorganized for me there when I had all those pumpkins, and they moved a lot of the freeze-dried items to the very top, and that was just such a good idea. I had not even thought of that, because we do have room all the way up into the rafters there. And so now I'm just continuing that project now that those pumpkins are long gone. Again, we never brought the mega mountains of pumpkins, but I did have 4 of these shelves here with many Hubbard squash and pumpkins, and a bunch we got through, and then some of them we did not because of unexpected life events.
We're hitting the I'm ready to be done with this part of the afternoon. We do have 17 minutes and 48 seconds left. So I was letting myself, I had this bag. Oh, let me show you what it is. A little cheese crisp. And I've been drinking a Zevia. I've been chugging that. Things that need to happen. Now I go to my survival mode. Okay, you got 17 minutes left, girl. What do you do? Well, the thrift store pile is pretty big, so I'm proud of us in that. The 2 bags of clothes that I thought were the clothes someone gave me were actually clothes, hand-me-downs from my current 12-year-old and almost 14-year-old. We're getting ready to hit our summer birthdays, and so the 13-year-old's gonna be 14, the 11-year-old turned 12. So those 2 boys is in those 2 bags. Is a lot of size 10, 12, and also some 14, 16 boy sizes. My 8-year-old, this is the large family mom clothing math, okay? My 8-year-old is currently in 7/8s, and he's wearing a lot of 8s because he's 8, there you go. But I know his next size, the little next size range there, is going to be the 10, 12s. So the Sonic pants I pulled out, the Minecraft creeper, jammies, all of those things that have high value in this household and are still very nice are upcoming for my 8-year-old. Here in the next year, he'll be able to wear those things. So a lot of things I pass on, but I want to go through, it's not going to be this video, but I need to go through both of those bags and just specifically pull things for the 8-year-old. And those particular like novelty few items I just pulled because they caught my eye, I'm going to go ahead and put those through the wash, and the 8-year-old can, like the size 10 pants probably won't fit him now, but he'll probably like get a hair tie, you know, he'll make those pants fit because they're Sonic. So I will not keep everything in both of those bags, but I will probably have a decent like next size up pile for my 8-year-old. Now, with true hand-me-downs, like if these are things that my 14-year-old has worn and my 12-year-old has worn, then they may not be in the best shape for my 8-year-old. So that's where I've got to go through and eyeball those things. These particular like character novelty items, I know that those were like different Christmas special pajamas and stuff that he got. They've only been through one boy. That's what I'm trying to say. The Sonic pajamas, the Minecraft pajamas there, those have only been through one boy, so there's still a lot of life left in them for my 8-year-old. Will they make it to my current 5-year-old? Probably not. I have found that with hand-me-downs in general and managing hand-me-downs, and like you know, a lot of stuff, if I don't have kids, especially with my girls, there's a 6-year gap in between each girl, so I do not hold clothes that my oldest daughter has for my daughter that's 6 years younger than her, because I've got a lot of friends with girls where either girl's hand-me-downs can go to them once they're out of them. They've just been through one kid, and it blesses some other girls and some other families. With my boys, because I am a mom of 7 sons, okay, it has worked out that the boys pair up in these groups, okay? So my 2 sons that are adult men, and hey, this is how I manage their wardrobe, and they're functioning adults now, so it didn't hurt them. They basically shared their wardrobe, and then as they got older, as they got to be teens, they would have like t-shirts from different trips and different experiences, and specialty clothing things, of course, that were individual, but as a whole, for the most part, they were able to wardrobe share. That also has happened with my 12 and 14-year-old, and now with my 5-year-old and my 8-year-old. The 5-year-old is going to be 6 pretty soon, so there's about 2.5 years in between each of these sets of boys. And then we have Tobin at the end. So none of these boy things that are floating around will be available for Tobin, and everyone does get fresh items, fresh things. I've had no hand-me-downs for my 5-year-old. I've had no hand-me-downs that I have saved for my 5-year-old or my 8-year-old. These bags just caught me here, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I should go through those. If I wouldn't have seen the Sonic stuff and the Minecraft Creeper pajamas, those just would have been in my thrift store pile. But now I'm like, okay, I am gonna go through those. And then all of my Tobin wardrobe clothes, I just need to rebag those. I have some bags here. And case in point, my 8-year-old just came in here, and I told him, go tell everybody, get ready, we're gonna clean out the back of the van and get this stuff loaded in. And he said, I still can have those Creeper jammies and the Sonic jammies and that Creeper shirt, right? So yeah, that's why. I know my 12-year-old had a lot of those clothing items that the 8-year-old's gonna want. So I'm gonna go through those bags for him, and then we'll donate those. But again, another video, another day.
And friends, welcome to what I'm calling Frugal Celebration Month. You thought it was just April, didn't you? Well, here at Large Family Table, I'm officially calling this Frugal Celebration Month. And why am I doing that? Because you work so hard to feed all your people while saving money and time to save your own mama sanity, and that is worth celebrating. So as a special gift to you during, as we've now declared, Frugal Celebration Month, I'm inviting you to join me in my special Large Family Table community for a super low price. In fact, it's the best value it has ever been. Only $14.97 a month. That's over 70% off. For a limited time, I've opened the Large Family Table community doors for you to enjoy megatons of meal planning resources, such as exclusive videos, brand new included products, special guests, and so much more. And because I'm so excited to celebrate Frugal Celebration Month with you, I am offering Large Family Table community membership for a limited time for only $14.97 a month. Learn along with me, frugal recipes and tons of budgeting ideas. You can feed those freezers and pantries, learn new cooking skills and homemaking skills every month with me, your Mega Mama friend here, Jamerrill. I created my special Large Family Table community over 3 years ago for all my friends just like you. You can save 70% off monthly membership and join tons of other friends who are all enjoying the super helpful mega fun in the Large Family Table community. Each month you get a brand new product valued at $14.99. You also get 2 exclusive videos with me. You also get an exclusive live call with me. And actually, we just had our end of month chatty live call for March. It was so much fun chatting with the Large Family Table community members. The live call lasted over 45 minutes, and you never have to worry about missing live events because we always re-upload the replays for you to watch anytime it's most convenient for you. Every month, I also bring in a special Ninja Mom expert, as I call them. Those are our special guests sharing everything from sourdough, charcuterie boards, emergency food storage, managing stress, planning, so much more. Every month we also do fun things like scavenger hunts or bingo or community challenges. There's also regularly special surprises. Plus, since I created Large Family Table community over 3 years ago, you get exclusive access to the over 3 years library of exclusive videos, paid products, special guests, and so much more that's already waiting for you, in addition to the brand new fun I roll out fresh every single month. As of March 2023, so even more as we roll into April, there are over 39 Ninja Mom expert videos. There are over 96 exclusive videos with me. There are over 40 included paid products, which are everything from my big batch freezer cooking guides, sheet pan dinner guides, slow cooker meal plans, frugal baking guides. There's over a year of exclusive 1-week meal plans, including grocery list, recipe links, and more. There's so much already there waiting. There's the replays to over 50 live call events that I have held over the last 3 years, and there's over 50 additional bonus content. Plus, there's over 50 special bonus content items as well. So be sure to click the first link in the description below while the doors of the Large Family Table community are open for a limited time, where you can get the best value ever offered on membership, only $14.97 a month, and that's over 70% off. Yay.
So what we're gonna do is clean out the back of the van. You hear me? Yes, okay. Clean out the back of the van, and then we will, when that's done, we will load this pile here into the back, because when we pull up to Gift and Thrift, they'll unload it for us. So we only want things that we're donating back there. Does that make sense? Thank you. I got a thumbs up. Okay, so I have a lot of my pots and things. I have saved different seed trays. I don't know how much or what I will need through this gardening adventure, but I'm gonna put them over here because the biggest goal is Travis needed these 8 shelves here totally cleared off. Okay, so I'm trying to stay focused on that. Pots and things are just gonna go down here for now. And we will work through what we need to keep with these items. This is full of little pots. This is full of little starter packs here. And then all of our cardboard we're saving for the garden. I did this last year with my pumpkin patch. We laid cardboard all over the bottom of it, then put our manure and our different soil and layers on top. But in between all the garden bed rows, I want to lay cardboard, and I want to cover all of that with mulch. And then I have I have 2 big garden areas that we're doing. One in particular I want to get in and actually grow things in this year. The other one, my goal is if we can just get it prepped and let the compost and the wood chips sit there until next season, we've at least got it prepped. So that's good. So again, every single box that's coming in, thank goodness Amazon knows my name, right? We have a pile that we're stacking these in for now.
Okay, so we are really making some progress here, even though in all honesty, I have shared that Mega Mama here is Mega Mama done. This definitely was a several hour deep organizing project, but we're making it through. My biggest goal was to get those 2 shelves totally cleared off and ready to go for Travis's professional help and experience. He was going to run me another outlet there and do some electrical work to help my hopes and dreams come true. So we appreciate that, Travis. And so now I'm putting some more storage containers that, you know, as life develops, I most likely will need. But right now, they don't need to be upstairs in the kitchen waiting. I want to get that pot planted also, but again, was not dealing with it on that day. We have a little goat crossing sign also, and I'm going to save my boards there for another time, another place, another event. That's just the Christmas plates for now. And I'm saving those Christmas pictures that I bought at Hobby Lobby to hang in the kitchen seasonally. I am putting those there for now, and we'll just get those back out next Christmas. I'm actually thinking about where I had that big snowman picture. I'm getting a whole vision in my head for some nice wood shelves there that we can have, like the big half-gallon and gallon jars full of items. I'm seeing things. We might get that done. Doesn't have to happen today though. And now I am just going to give a good mama sweep on everything. Pull everything from the sides of the room there into the middle. You may see framing on the walls behind these shelves. This basement, at some point over the past 60 years, it was finished out. And I don't know the full history. Only one family owned this house before us, but they definitely had rooms down here. Now, whenever we bought this house, all that was left is the framing. And so when we get to our basement project, many things will be redone and swirled around, but for now, we're using it as is, and Travis is making my electrical hopes and dreams come true around things that are already there, and we are making the best use of this space. I definitely, like when we saw this house and I saw like to the side here, you go in that other door and I have my pantry room, I felt that there would be great things I would do with that space. I didn't quite have the full pantry vision that I have worked through over these last several years, but man, I am so thankful. Whoops, oh yes, into every life a mountain of thrift store stuff must fall. I am so thankful for that room and for that space. I never had that kind of space before, and as a 43-year-old middle-aged woman, you know, Mama's thankful for that pantry room. We are definitely making good use of that.
Okay, so the timer went off, I don't know, probably 20 or so minutes ago. I have just continued to push through. Also, I set our Berkey water filter up there. We used to have that, as you remember, I'm sure, on the little like coffee cart in the baby kitchen. We got that in 2020, and there's some extra filters for it. Anywho, we haven't set it up yet in the Mega Mama kitchen, and I think I might set it up over near my prep sink for the kids. Not sure yet. I need to get one of those like racks that they sit on, because where I used to have it, it just sat flat on the cart. Anyway, that is there. I took it apart, but I'm gonna have Travis here on his upcoming list help me get the Berkey back in the big kitchen. That would be super. So we have a lot of shelf space now, which is great. That's a box of some items I need to drop off at someone's house. I have some racks that came out of our dishwasher. I just don't know where else to put them right now. Some baskets and little organizing tubs that I am keeping. Some of my freeze-dried food packs from Harvest Right. Just some water that we have on hand. That planter that we're gonna plant. And then there's my different little seed packs. Not seed packs. Actually, I could put my boxes of seeds over here, which would get them from down there. But anyway, little planters are up there. And so these shelves now are all ready for the grow lights and the heat mats. Travis did run electrical here to facilitate all of that. So we had talked about that in a recent video, and he decided that would be the best way to handle it. This is just a chair he sits on whenever he's working on projects and stuff down here. So I'm proud of us. We've made progress. We did the things. Over here I have some flags I want to switch out because I still have Christmas flags up, and you know, hello, March. 2 jars that need washed. A bowl I found down here. Some more bleach wipes to take up to put in each bathroom. Those Parmesan crisp that I got into as a snack after I washed my hands. Those 2 containers are pretty funky, and what those were under. This fall, whenever we got the whole van full and the whole truck full of pumpkins for like $40 a load, the pumpkins that I was going to do projects with, we set down here on these 4 shelves. And of course, with what ended up happening mainly with our whole month of December, things just eventually, started to go, and the animals got to eat these items yet again. So we had some that went bad, that's a little stain on the floor, or started to leak or whatever. I mean, I put them, it's okay. It's okay. Animals were fed. They were still put to good use. And the whole point, I bought the truckload and the van full of pumpkins was for the animals, but I was trying to do some pumpkin and blue Hubbard squash and other food preservation projects with you with them. But again, the pigs didn't complain. I think the last thing, again, we're not doing this area, but yet here we are touching and doing a few things on this area. I'm gonna just go ahead and put the baby clothes in a fresh bag. I'm not taking them out of the bags they're in. I'm just gonna dump them, put the whole bag into a fresh bag, and that'll at least hold it for now. And also, since I've mentioned baby clothes a couple times in this video, the question that I'll get in every video is, hey Jamerrill, are you having any more kids? When are you having another baby? All of that. And my only answer I have for you is, I'm 43, I'll be 44 this summer. We'll see what happens.
And there you go. There's an honest answer for you. So I'm pulling these bags out, and I'm going to go ahead and just have 3 different Tobin smaller clothes bags there. And I'm gonna just, I'm hoping to open up the bag and insert the bag, the ripped open bag, into it. Oh yes, but will everything fall on me? It could happen. I wish you were here to hold it for me. But we are definitely going to just rebag those clothes. I don't want to go through them at any point. It is very late in the afternoon, and we've just been hoofing it, getting so much of this decluttering and organizing and thrift store donation pile extravaganza underway. But it'll be good. It's good to just get those bags of baby boy clothes bagged back up. And I'm going to go ahead and get that baby walker out of there though, because again, so much of my baby stuff, I feel like there's other mamas out there that can use those things. Many times at a certain point, I will just go ahead and give those to the pregnancy center. I was not ready to dive into that. I want to take the time to just wash those clothes again and organize them by age and stage and get them bagged up nicely and everything before I donate them. So those are just going to wait. That'll be a project for another day. All right, so here's the updated pile that is going to now be loaded in the van for a thrift store. I would take the other mirror that I have hanging up, but it's just too heavy. So these we will get loaded now. Okay, well, plot twist, I just called our chiropractor. They're one that you can generally call right when you need to go in and walk in. And they're usually open until 6, but today they have another event. They're closing at 4:30, and somehow it's 4:30 now. But we're still gonna get all of this loaded in the van, and then I'm just gonna sit and regroup. That was the main reason I was pushing to go out, because we're trying to get that done. But the van will now be loaded, and we can go tomorrow now when it suits us. You see the dirt? This calls for a double dose of afternoon herbal tea. Yes, it does. So, I was super tired, obviously, after all of that basement busting around for several hours. You know, I was pushing to get us to the thrift store, get us a chiropractor. I mean, this just happened in video land, right? So it's really been like an hour and a half since then. So I feel myself like the need to recap what just happened. So I was really tired. Sat down, had a late lunch, inhaled, exhaled, had the kids do some things, all of that. But then all of a sudden, next field over, we had a helicopter land, and we heard all these sirens. There was a lot going on. Anyway, there was apparently a very horrific car accident that happened this afternoon right here on our road. I don't know all the details other than I can see in our like county alert Facebook page, I can see that there was a bad accident. It was on our road. We saw the helicopter, but also like that was all swirling around the same time that we were supposed to be getting in the van, you know, busting to our city and, you know, going to the doctor and dropping off all the thrift store stuff. So again, we just weren't supposed to be out there in the middle of all that. That's just how I'm going to leave that. So now I don't feel as frustrated not getting my stuff down the road at the thrift store. And yeah, so good afternoon. Actually, I thought they already took off. There's the helicopter going now. Can y'all see it? I know I got trees in the way. God bless them. Wow, that took a while. I feel like it's been 30 minutes since my kids said the helicopter landed. Alrighty, so happy evening. I have a plot twist decided that we are going to do a bunch of salmon cakes and a bunch of tumen cakes. Yeah, I don't know what tumen cakes are,
bunch of tuna cakes as well. You know, I've been threatening to do this for a while. I've had many times where I've made big batch tuna cakes and salmon cakes, but it's been a bit. I'm also, as the binder, I'm going to crunch up a bunch of pork rinds. We have a box of store-bought eggs. The last box that was left that I got before our chickens really picked up lay-in, and we need to use that up also, so we're going to use those. I don't know that we'll use all of them. We're going to eyeball it, but we're going to pull it all together now, and I will probably fry them on the stove top. I can also, well, I don't know how any of this is going to go, so freeform big batch cooking with me, because I have kids who need to eat. I need to eat. We need food. Yes, okay, I have a helper here, and so right now I'm thinking I'm going to cook a bunch up in my 17-inch Lodge cast iron skillets on the stove top. Will I also, this could be like multiple choice, will I also do a bunch on the sheet pan in the oven, just pre-cooking them for days to come? Will I make them up and flash freeze them and get them frozen, and then we'll bag them up tomorrow? Will I cook all of them? Will I only cook enough for dinner? Your guess is as good as mine, but let's get to this. So since I'm using pork rinds as the binder, I do have a tail helper in here with me. Been crushing them up with the masher, and I also just put some through Vitamix. And so we have all of our salmon in here. My goodness, was that 14 cans? Who could know it? I think so. Do you know how many cans we did? So yeah, I think pretty close to, I think we had about 12. Anyway. That's a good way to grind up those pork rinds. And I'm going to add in salt and pepper. Also, what else do I have sitting out here? Onion powder, garlic powder. I'll probably add in some other seasonings too. I'm just going to get back over to my spice cabinet.
So there's the bowl. I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but that's okay. Gonna need a bigger bowl, boat. A bigger bolt and a bigger boat, right? So I am just hand mixing now with all the salmon and all the eggs and the pork rinds and the seasonings. Also giving kid directions behind me. They are working through and putting dishes away before we get to dinner, trying to get everything tidied up and ready to go. And so I will link my recipe down in the description below for when I do salmon cakes and tuna cakes for the freezer. Many times I've made them using old-fashioned oats as the binder, and you can also grind that up and use it like ground oat flour. In this batch right here, as I mentioned, I am using pork rinds, which is also good. I mean, of course, go ahead and use breadcrumbs. You can certainly do that. And so I am getting my salmon cakes going in my big 17-inch Lodge cast iron. I have both of them going. And it does take me a bit with this first batch. It's just been a little bit since I've done salmon cakes and tuna cakes. And I am cooking them there in an oil. But I did need to let them sit just a little longer before I flipped them. But that's okay. We're working it out. We're working through it. I did end up doing a bunch for the freezer as well, which is what I was trying to do. I had some kids who were really excited about pulling out the salmon bones and setting them aside. Just wanted to do some homeschool science with the canned salmon. So they really enjoyed that. I know that some viewers have shared that they crunch up the bones and just use them as extra nutrition in their cooking as well. And so I had just had some heavy requesting of taking the bones out. But yeah, here's the part where I probably just should have waited another minute before I got to flipping, but that's okay. So here we go. Here are the patties that are done. I've got to start serving these out, but I do have that other pan that's almost done as well. Okay, so with each pan, I'm getting better at flipping these. I just needed to, the first pan was a little rough. Needed to let them sit a little longer than I had been. You know me, hurry, hurry, hurry. But this pan is looking better. All right, so we made it through with those salmon cakes. We didn't officially make it through. I still have that whole bowl of the salmon cake mix that I do plan, now that it's all mixed up, later this evening. I'm going to pick up where I left off, and I think I'm going to actually just try to cook all those patties through and then freeze them already cooked. The way I more often do it is I flash freeze, we'll say 100 patties. Then I will take them from the pan and freeze them longer term in separated gallon bags, like maybe
12 to 15 or 20, however I can stack it, bags of the flash frozen salmon cakes. Okay. But my freezer has a lot of stuff flash freezing right now. I got a lot of other videos, a lot of other food projects going down. So I'm going to just cook those up, and then I will freeze them in gallon bags and not flash freeze and cook later, even though we'll heat through them later. Okay, it's the Jamerrill food matrix. I just found myself toiletry shopping in my grocery store in my basement room over there. And then I was like, how do I get this all upstairs? So here's what I'm doing. I wanted to get my picnic basket upstairs anyway. And look, we have another basket, just all the baskets. 'Tis the season. And so I just went in 2 different loads. I was bringing out armfuls of stuff that I need. We had the first official bubble bath in the new bathtub in the second bathroom. Even though there's no electricity in there, we can have a morning bubble bath. Now this, my little lid got knocked off of there, but I'm gonna replace that with my old lid. I've been out of baby powder upstairs, and then some of our other, our essentials kit that we have needed. So I thought this would be a good way to get this basket upstairs. Let's see if we will all fit. There we are. Looks like that basket needs to be wiped off, but that's okay. Let's see. Can I double stack my baskets? And I thought I got one more basket here that could come up. I think I have room on my turquoise shelf there for these. You'll also see, I'll be showing these in more details. Travis is still working through this, but we got the heat mats on there. He's working on the lights. He stayed up late last night after working with the stump grinder all day yesterday. I don't know, I think he was up until 1 or 2. So he's working through this. He wants to, like, all of these wires are gonna be absolutely like type A, totally perfect here once he's done with it. So as I like to say, sorry, Harvest Right freeze dryer is going loudly over there still, but we're keeping that running too. As I like to say, I'm proud of us. We're doing it. Thank you so much for watching this video and tackling these big shelves in my basement. Many more projects and DIYs and getting plants going and the big seed haul and so many things coming up. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon with another brand new video. Bye-bye. And remember, friends, if you are struggling to find ways to feed your family, if mealtime makes you crazy, if you are tired of feeling overwhelmed and frazzled in the kitchen, that is why I created the exclusive large family table community over 3 years ago. Because I wanted to dive deeper with my online community of friends and create a special hub for creating and sharing even more exclusive content and fun adventures with you. I want us to be able to cook, do all the things, and have tons of extra fun together. So be sure to click the first link in the description below and join me over in the Large Family Table community. It's like a fun ongoing course where each month I orchestrate and drop a bunch of fun goodies on community members. From exclusive videos with me, special guests, live calls, included paid products, and so much more, we do all the things over in the Large Family Table community. So click that first link in the description below and join now while membership is only $14.97 a month for a limited time. Let me finish chewing, right? So my plan is to have my team, my plan is to help, my plan is for my family and I to load all the Hello food blog, hello. I was trying to get clothes for another baby, but you can see I was trying to get clothes for another, and then of course what ended up happening with some unexpected family events, and then of course what ended up happening,